You are living the dream of a lot of humans in the United States of America. I believe you dropped out of high school, ended up creating a business. We're going to sell that thing a few times, become a multi-billionaire, buy the hometown favorite Utah Jazz team, run that into a wagon right now, Ryan. And then now, as of this morning, you kind of project into the world that you think you're ready for another team. You basically asked the NHL to do another round of expansion and bring a team to Utah. And you and I chatted about this particular evening where Gumps looks incredibly cool. I'm on a bunch of vitamins that, tough to find in Utah, but had a great night. Yep. Obviously had a great night there. But we even chatted about hockey there and your love of the sport and how you think it would do in Utah. Now it seems like you're kind of trying to make it happen. What led you to make this statement publicly towards the NHL, and how close do you think you actually are?
Yeah, so first of all, I think on our side, we're all in. I mean, I think that's the most important thing is that we get lined up. I think we've gotten and established a pretty good relationship with Gary Bettman and Bill and the crew over there for a couple of years now. And I think that's important as well. And, if you look at the momentum of Utah, we've got to put something in front of them that's pretty tough for them to turn down. And I think we've done that. We've got the youngest demographic in the country, the fastest growing state. We're in the process of the Olympics, which is massive for 34 in hockey. Hockey's one of the only winter sports that isn't training there. We got a top 5 tech ecosystem. And really we've sold out 251 straight Jazz games. It's going to be successful. And I think if you take a step back and you look at that momentum with a chance to build an incredible new arena somewhere that's hockey specific, it's pretty compelling from our standpoint. And our ownership group's completely lined up, ready to go.
Okay, so it feels like whenever you say ready to go, people would say, well, there'd be a transition process. I think in your statement, you even said, we'd be ready to do this next year if we had to. Logistically, it's set up. You can get the logos, you can get the graphics, you can get the marketing. And with the way the NHL has handled expansion over the past, your team will be good quick as well. That's kind of how the NHL expansion process goes. How serious are you about we could do this next year? And do you think that's a reality?
Yeah, over the last couple of years, we've been holding NHL games. We've done the Frozen Fury in the Delta Center. It fits. It works. It's not as many seats as we would like because it's not configured the right way. But we could probably get 14,000 plus in there and get going on a launch. So our goal as our organization is we want to be ready to go. We know it's going to be successful. Utah is excited about it, as you've seen the reaction. And so we're leaning all the way in.
How come today did you choose to do the public? You know what I mean? Because 2 years you've been working this, seemingly with Gary Bettman, trying to figure out if it's right. Now taking it public is applying a little bit more pressure. Why did you think now is the right time to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of people who express interest or, hey, it'd be nice or like we'd be open to it. I think as we sat down recently with our group at SCG, we basically decided if we're gonna go in, we got to go all the way in. And like we're gonna have to come out and say that we're ready and be ready for everything that entails. Because unless we show the NHL that that's where we're at and have those discussions with them and get them in a spot where they've got to look at this and say, holy cow, like this is one of the youngest ownership groups in sports, tech focused.
They wear cool visors.
With this market.
They wear cool visors.
What? So I think that sure. If you put all that together, like it's a pretty compelling case. And so it's out there. We're ready. And I think that's the next step, which we hadn't done, honestly, in the past. In the past, it's been, Pat, you and I talking, or our group talking, saying, hey, we'd love to have it there. It'd be working. It is on the tape. It is on the ticker.
Yeah, and that's normally when things happen, whenever that gets to that point. Today in hockey, obviously, there's a lot happening. Mm-hmm. But if an expansion team was to come to Utah, boy, that'd be a beautiful. We would love to travel out there for a couple games. Go ahead, AJ.
Do you have any idea any other cities around the country that may be vying for an expansion team as well? And does that come into play when the NHL is looking at where to go maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I'll leave all the expansion up to Gary because, he's got to run that process or whatever that looks like with their group. But I've seen, just like you've all seen, multiple cities saying, hey, we'd love to do it. I think we've been in that spot, and now it was, this is, I think, is a little different, where we're saying, hey, like, we're ready and we can do it now. We don't need to go build an arena to land a team right now. And, it's not by accident that we've been putting these games in. But I think with the Olympics and everything else that's coming, to be one of the only winter sports that's not there as a home for training in the U.S., it's pretty compelling if you add that with the growth and everything else that's going on.
Your sense of pride of Utah is obviously very real. And I think you've chatted to me about, the connection of Utah and bringing Utah together, because there's, the Soakers.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
Is how. Hey, I'm just telling you what Utah people told us about BYU.
Hey, we had 18,000 last night at the Marriott Center BYU on ESPN for BYU Houston. It was electric.
It was a great game.
Should have seen what they did after.
Yeah, after. Did you guys win? Did BYU win?
I just teed that up for you guys.
Yeah, because we're
Get
just
you all visors.
Yeah, we're talking about the bed.
7.2.
We're talking about the beds just rocking. Big time win. 18,000 amount of energy that's probably in that soaking atmosphere. Oh my God! The amount of earthquakes going off. They probably had to get the Richter scale
Probably hit it.
out of that whole place. Yeah, we saw it. It was actually on the news.
Yeah.
Oh my, that makes sense now. So there was not an earthquake in Utah last night. But there was a celebration of earthquaking.
Man-made.
Yeah, man.
No, we didn't win. There was no celebration, but we.
Sad soaking.
Yeah. Sometimes better.
Anyways, there does seem to be, Utah, BYU, two different kind of fashions in Utah. But you have been, like, one of your main messages to us immediately was about how, hey, Utah is an incredible state, great state. We need to bring it together, and everybody loves sports. And with the thought of bringing another team to Utah in the way you sell Utah, are you like future governor of Utah, or why do you think you're the guy that is doing this for the state of Utah? And why do you feel like you have to? I don't want to say have to, but why do you do it?
Look, I mean, we have incredible people in Utah. I'm not the spokesperson for the state of Utah, but what I can explain is I think it's one of the most unique places on the planet. I've been everywhere, obviously in tech, we've got offices in 26 different locations around the world. Utah's different. It's unbelievable. It's good for the soul in a world where wellness and mental health and all of that is an all-time low. I get back to Utah whenever I travel, and I just take a deep breath, and I'm like, this is incredible. The mountains right there, the growth. Before, people would just go there, and then they would leave. I mean, 7 million people come in to ski, and now people are going there and saying, wow, I actually have this ecosystem that's here. We can be successful here. I can raise kids here. It's awesome. And we don't want more people moving to Utah because I think we have enough. But I think the idea, though, is this platform or the role that we're in, it's hard for me not to, have a ton of pride about this state and everything it's about. And it's really cool because typically we have pride about different things. We have pride about our family. We have pride about our sports. But to actually have pride about an entire state, it's invigorating. And I think there's a lot of people in Utah who feel that way. And there's a lot of people outside of Utah who are going just like yourselves. You come, you felt it, you were there, you were like, actually, this is different. You guys came to the game, you went through, and that's what's happening. And so there's a lot of momentum around this amazing state right now. And I just couldn't be happier to be in a spot where it's authentic. It's truly authentic that I believe it. Everything great I've got in my life has come from that. So it's pretty cool.
How many billions?
Oh, geez. We don't think that way.
Do you Google that and say, that's not right? What they say? And how often do you keep track of that? How often do you keep track of that?
Of what?
Of like, hey, how much am I worth on this particular day? Do you keep
zero? Never, like ever.
So that's
how other people keep score.
Okay, I respect that. But at some point, you had to look at the number to see if you could afford an NHL team, right, with the franchise. And like when go ahead.
No, like when I'll never forget. We sold our company. I mean, we've been super fortunate. We've been super blessed. I remember selling our company in 2018, and like it'd been a ride that we had worked for a really long time that involved so many amazing people. And I specifically remember sitting down with my wife, Ashley, who you met, and like,
awesome.
And I was like, "Hey, babe, like, check this out. Like, this is what just happened to our accounts. Like, it's kind of weird." And she literally just looked at me and was like, scary. I was like, wait, that's the answer, scary? And like, reality is like, there's only a certain amount you need, and the rest is like, what are you going to go do with it? And like, how are you going to do this? And really, if you think about it, like sports franchises, and there's not a bigger platform to go and affect community change. What we've done with our scholarships, we have 60,000 kids playing junior jazz. Like, tech's great, and it's an incredible platform. Sports is the greatest unifying platform of all time. I mean, look at Buffalo.
Yes.
Look at them like shoveling. Look at the energy. Look at the reaction of Jazz fans when the Delta Center comes back. Like, you start looking at what sports can do, it's invigorating. And so the idea to continue that with hockey and try to replicate what the Jazz have done for the community, you got to go for it. You got to go for it. Even if it's taking your life worth and your life savings and putting it all towards that, what else are you going to do with it? Buy more visors?
Well, I was about to say, Jerry Jones told a story to Joe Buck, I believe, on this one interview show that was really good. I don't think they do it anymore. Jerry said, there are people who are about 230 yards away from the green. There's a little bit of water in between them, and they decide to lay up and then hope for a birdie, maybe they'll be able to get there. I'm going for the green every fucking time. And he talked about his investment in the Dallas Cowboys. He went all in on the Dallas Cowboys, I guess. Everybody kind of misconstrued how much money he potentially had. He was spending every dollar he had on the Dallas Cowboys. Now they're the most profitable, most expensive franchise on earth. And that mindset of like going for it is certainly a reason for his success. It sounds like you have a very similar thing. It sounds like you have that same mentality.
Yeah, I'm still heavily involved in tech, so I kind of have a day job a little bit on that side. And we're probably, Jerry and I probably have very different strategies on how we operate. I don't do that many interviews, but
you're killing this one, though.
You're crushing
this one.
Hey, there's no question. There's no question that like what he's done has been his style and his way, and it's worked, and he's gotten a bunch of people around him to go and do that. And so in a scenario, if you're going to go into sports, there's probably no other way. You can't tiptoe into it and say, hey, we're gonna be laying up here. You really need to go all the way in. And like it's something you learn throughout. And I don't think it's any different than what you guys are doing. It's like, hey, if we're doing all of this online and we're working, like we are in it. We're going to buy the Thunderdome. We're going to make it good. We're going to set up golf holes just for Ryan when he comes to try to hit a hole in one and not be successful. But like
windy day,
and we're going to.
That was tough.
Yeah,
that was a windy
day.
Yeah.
Windy day. But like, no, there's no other way. Like, what was I saying? There's nothing good you've got in your lives where you haven't like pushed beyond your comfort zone and where you thought it was. So naturally, you've got to be around people where you can look around and be like, all right, we're going. Come hell or high water, we're going, and we're going together.
Yeah.
And that's in the DNA in Utah. Probably, in an unfair rate, because that's what breeds the entrepreneurship that's there.
Because you need each other.
And that you need each other. And I love that. And that's what you feel when you go to Utah. Now, Utah doesn't have the exclusive on it. No one does. No one's got the exclusive on smart people and people that are willing to do that. But that's what I love about our state, and that's what gets me wanting to promote it.
Hell yeah. Hey, you, though, having to look at the price of an NHL team and then being like, yep, we can do that.
Sure.
That's a cool moment.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Not a lot of humans in history can do that. Not a lot of humans in history.
We have a bunch of amazing people who have gotten behind SEG. From Ryan Sweeney at Excel Partners in the Bay Area to Mike Cannon-Brooks in Australia, D. Wade, Arctos. Like, we have incredible people.
Yeah.
Big J,
of course,
who are not in Utah, but are Utah and want to invest there. And I like it when people almost a little bit outside our state love our state as much as those inside. And they're all in. And so That's where we're at, and we're super fortunate. We're super fortunate.
You've crushed it, pal. Connor has a question for you about something, though.
Yeah, Ryan. Crushed it both times.
I don't know, Connor, if you're allowed to ask more questions after last time.
Well, what did he say last time?
What did I say last time?
Well, you were like, "Hey, I'm not going to do the BYU stuff," and then I sat down, and then I sat down, and you're like, "Well, I'm not going to do it, but Connor might."
Yeah. Well, that's
exactly.
Yeah, because Ryan asked me. He said, "You're going to bring up soaking, I assume?" I'm like, "Well, I will not." But Connor's first question will probably be about soaking. And then show started about 2 minutes later.
Yep.
I mean, that's how things go. You know, pretty matter of fact.
Yeah.
Hey, you've handled it very well, by the way.
Absolutely.
We still don't know what's real and what isn't. Just want to let you know that.
Well, it's not. None of it's real.
That's
I told you last.
see, I don't know.
If it think it's real, I've got a bunch of new startups for you guys to invest in.
Nice.
Well, actually, with your success rate, I was.
Sounds good.
It's like a shake weight.
We would like to potentially get in there. But we've heard from a younger generation.
Connor, what's up? What do you got?
Yeah, I'm just, rattling ideas here. A shake weight for a bunk bed. That is kind of
in the bed.
In the bed, yeah.
So you face down.
It's like a stripper pole on the bottom of the bed.
Come on,
So you
guys.
face down.
Yeah,
actually.
boom. Wow.
Now, what's your real question?
Yeah.
Yeah, get a piston.
Yeah,
installed in
piston.
there.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Boom.
Look at us helping. We're nowhere near Mormon.
No.
We got a lot of friends that are Mormon.
Two Theraguns blasting it. Two Theraguns in your hand. Turn full
Hey, I
blast.
saw you with Austin Collie the other day.
Bingo. I feel like I know the Mormon community pretty well.
Yeah.
Austin looks incredible.
How about Puka? How about our boy Puka out of BYU?
Oh,
Love
love
that
Puka. He was great on our show. He
Man,
came on our show. He was phenomenal. We love
was on you?
the Mormons. We're
I
trying to
watched
help
that-
out.
We're good.
Go ahead, Connor.
It's just something to think
You
about.
flip on a light switch,
Yeah, exactly.
boom, and there's 17 Theraguns underneath the bed.
Oh,
Yeah, and
geez.
then you activate it like it's a massage chair. Like you got different
Rolling.
settings.
Yep.
Yeah, you can do the bunny to the turtle.
Yeah.
To kind of figure out where you want to be.
We're so nice. But how come nobody ever says how kind we are and considerate that we give our ideas to others?
Yeah, and the only price would be 20% of the Utah hockey team.
Yeah, bingo.
That was simple, good business. But Ryan, I just want to tell you one thing first before I ask you my question. You look fantastic on the show today. You looked fantastic when you came in here and you sat down. I mean, shit, the photo of Gumpy, you and Pat from late October, you look fantastic. I know there are a plethora of great photos of you and that big, handsome son of a bitch, Jay, just walking around Utah. I checked Twitter. A lot of people think that Gumpy is tagging the wrong Twitter profile because your profile picture doesn't look as cool as you always look. So
Can we change the photo?
Yeah, I think maybe you just need to get in there, change the photo up, and kind of show how cool you look on a daily basis because people don't think you're the same person, and that is not okay.
Because of my Twitter profile?
That's
Yes.
what people are saying.
That's what people are saying on the internet. Your Twitter profile photo doesn't reflect how fucking cool you are when you come on the show
look.
and just look from a day-to-day basis. So just telling you that from a fucking asshole in Indiana. But with that being said, obviously you have the plans immediately to play in the Delta Center. Have there been any other things thrown around? You know, we talked about Jerry Jones. Have you thought about building like a Ryan Smith world, like kind of like a Utah Jazz hockey team world where you have the restaurants, kind of like the Staples Center, the way the Kings do it? They have the Staples
No,
Center.
for sure.
Yeah, okay, please.
Yeah, for sure. So I think if you take a step back and you say, okay, we've got 60,000 juniors playing junior jazz, who have come through and played junior jazz, and it's unbelievable.
What does that mean? I don't think I know what that means. That's just a youth league?
So we have a youth program, and everyone in Utah plays junior jazz. And as you're a youth, you come in and you sign up for it, and it's helped grow the game. You get a couple tickets to the game, and it becomes part of who you are. I think one of the benefits that Utah can do with the youngest demographic for hockey is if we actually set up a hockey-specific arena, and we're still whiteboarding a lot of this, but if you set up a hockey-specific arena, one of the limitations on hockey is definitely ice time. Imagine a world where you could actually create the movement with the junior hockey league, similar to what we've done with the Jazz. And so that would be an idea that we would have, and then that would actually dictate us saying, okay, how would you actually create a full environment of entertainment around that, but actually giving hockey its moment. I mean, we got one of the best basketball arenas in the country in the Delta Center with the slope. Like, ultimately, it would be really, really cool to give hockey this moment that people can rally around.
Is that Bettman?
Gare?
No.
That would have been cool. Imagine if he says, "You got a team."
You know what?
Stop talking.
Yeah, just FaceTime him in.
Yeah, that would have been amazing, actually. He actually, when he joined the program, he had his button down, unbuttoned,
That's
he's
chest hair
chilling.
out.
sitting on the side of his eye. He looks super cool. We asked him about expansion. He said he doesn't have an exact time of when it's going to happen, but he's always looking into it. Maybe you're able to kick him over there. And it'd be great for the sport of hockey to have another home, especially a home that loves hockey and loves winter sports. Go ahead, AJ.
Have you kicked around any possible team names for this team that you may be having come to town soon?
No, the internet is full of them. Holy cow. I mean, we have more graphic designers and
good.
brand agencies in the state of Utah than I've seen. I mean, there was a bunch out there. I saw the Utah Venom. I saw the Yetis, Utah Yeti with a killer logo. I thought that was pretty cool, actually.
That's dope.
Especially with the U and the Y. They finally come together.
Oh, because
look at that.
BYU,
Whoa.
Utah.
Yeah. So
Didn't think
I
about
think
that.
that there's a lot there, but our number one goal is let's land the plane here and get NHL in Utah, and we can kind of worry about all the other stuff after that. I don't care how it gets here. We just got to go, and I think NHL was gracious enough. I mean, we weren't really 100% expecting the response that they had today, but them leaning in and saying, "Hey, look, we know Utah is an incredible market. We haven't been asleep. We're watching the growth in Utah and everything else, and the desirability of that region, and then you and everything you guys are doing at SCG, and we'll continue discussions." I think that's a really, really good approach, and especially one from Gary. And no one can see all of the future, but that's a good acknowledgement of where we're at.
Expansion's the only option because obviously the Phoenix Coyotes play in a thing called the Mullet Arena, which doesn't even change over the logos in the arena for the Coyotes from the Arizona State hockey team. So that team has obviously been chatted about being moved out of Arizona for a long time. Just because it's not good for hockey, what's taking place down there is how hockey people feel. That is not how we are saying. This is just the reality of the situation. Has that been chatted about or only expansion?
Just about every interview I've done, but
okay, good.
I think
I'm happy we hit it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm happy we did.
Yeah. But look, I think our goal is NHL, and I'll leave the rest on how all that happens to Gary. Expansion. I mean, we went through the expansion process, but we're ready, and we're ready to go, and we just want to be true partners with the league, like we've done and everything else, and let those powers be figure out what the best way to get something here on whatever timeline they feel.
We need to get him out of Arizona. Gino Malkin's scoring own goals in there.
Gross.
Guys just don't even play good hockey when they go out.
Bumpy ice.
Even though we love Phoenix, we wish that was not the case. It's my favorite place to travel to. It's beautiful. Last question.
Outside of Utah, that's your favorite place outside of Utah?
And Pittsburgh.
Be honest.
Hey, are you guys ready for All-Star game
No.
in Indy?
We're not. No, Ryan, you came with a lot of ideas. What was that, like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. Like, hey, we got the Super Bowl coming up.
Yeah. Ryan's like, hey, listen, I got ideas. We just had the All-Star game in Utah. Here's some things you could potentially do. I'm like, are we getting TikTok to do that? Is
Who are you talking to?
Is Talk going to do that, Ryan? How we?
Yeah, you're like looking around.
Okay, I will. Yeah, Ryan, I will actually do that. But we are. I think Adam Silver's coming on.
Yes.
The week.
Sweet.
We are promoting that the NBA All-Star Game's coming to Indianapolis. Are you coming out here?
I'm gonna try.
That's a no.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, just say no.
That's a no.
No, it's never a no. I got 5 little kids, man. Like everything's day to day.
5?
I understand. 5's a lot. That's you got to start in 5 down there. Hey, cute kids too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You just see them.
Yeah.
I will say Utah filled with very similar looking, very handsome and beautiful people. That is.
It's awesome.
Isn't it? I mean, I saw 14 of the same guy at the Utah Jazz game. And I was like, that guy. Wasn't that guy just putting? Now he's doing this. Is that the same? Are we picking random people from the arena or the same guy?
Yeah.
It was all pretty much the same people. Let's talk about the Jazz, though. Hey,
Okay.
we're hot. We're good. We're playing. What happened? Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Jazz are hot right
Hey,
now.
Coach. Yeah, Coach Hardy's doing an incredible job getting dialed in. I mean, I think we, at the beginning, getting the lineups right and everything, but, I think we'd won 12 out of the last 15 or
pretty good.
for that. We we didn't have going on the road's tough. We kind of have a brutal road trip right now, and but we won 5 out of 6 at home, including Denver and some of these other really really hot teams, and it's good. It's good to see the young guys step up, and we're excited. We're a long way, but I think given how the team's rolling, Lowry, Colin, JC, like it's fun to watch. I mean, we went to the game together. We've been to 2 games together, and it's been pretty incredible.
Yeah, watching you watch the team is awesome. Invested. Like not only financially, but actually
emotionally.
In between quarters, that was a bad quarter, and we're walking it off, and we're going and you're in there. That's a cool thing to see. I think that's another thing that Gary Bettman has to understand. Like you're in there.